Hi there, this is Heidi Marttila-Losure. I'm the president of the North Brown Community Foundation, and I'm sorry I can't be there with you today. Right when you will be viewing this, I will be driving through Chicago traffic. My daughter goes to college in Chicago, and we decided to try a new adventure this time. So we are driving there instead of flying. So, maybe wish me luck, maybe say a little prayer, and hopefully I'll be home safe tomorrow at the end of the day. But in the meantime, I wanted to record this video to let you know a little bit about what we've been doing with the North Brown Community Foundation. A little background on the North Brown Community Foundation. It was formed in 2014 and serves the geographical area of the Frederick Area School District. We called it the North Brown Community Foundation because we wanted all of the communities to feel included, and not just Frederick, because it includes Frederick, but then also the communities of Barnard and Westport and the community around Elm Lake. Our early years were a bit slow. When we first formed it, we got a little bit of pushback in the community. We asked Frederick Forward, our local community development group, if they would give $5,000 to the community foundation as kind of seed money to get things rolling. And they did agree to do that, but it passed by just one vote, the vote for that donation. And the pushback was really that people were uncomfortable with the idea of a perpetual foundation, that they would put money into a fund and then no matter what happened, they wouldn't be able to take it out. I think there is a benefit to that too, right? Like, that money will always be for the purposes for which it was intended. But I can see that I can understand some of the discomfort there as well. We also asked the Frederick Alumni Association if they would be willing to either put their funds into the North Brown Community Foundation to and then have a designated scholarship fund in the foundation, or to do a separate fund with the South Dakota Community Foundation, because it would greatly increase the amount of scholarships they were able to give each year. But they did not even consider that. They really wanted to be able to control their own funds. And because of those two reasons, we set up the fund, and then it kind of just sat for a little while. There were, some other things going on. I was the president. I had some other things that I was thinking about and dealing with in my life, and didn't have enough bandwidth to focus on this too. So it was just a couple years where it was just set up, and there were a couple early donations in there, but that was all. But the thing is that because it was established, it was there and ready to receive donations when donors were ready to give. And that happened at the end of 2017. Dolores Anderson was a prominent woman in the community. She had worked in the bank, was in a lot of community organizations. And when she passed away, her kids were looking for a way to recognize her contributions by giving back to the community, and found the North Brown Community Foundation online and gave a donation of $5,000. And we were thrilled. We were so excited that the foundation was serving its purpose, that when people wanted to give back to the community, there was a place for them to do so. And then soon after that, we got an even bigger surprise. Bertha Turnquist was also a quieter but also well-known person in the community. She was a church organist. She was the wife of a rancher, and they had retired to Aberdeen, did not have any children. And after her husband passed, she was trying to consider what she should do with these funds that had remained in her care, and learned that Campbell County, where she had grown up, had a community foundation. She mentioned that to Scott Campbell at the bank, who was handling her other financial things. And Scott Campbell at our local bank happens to be the treasurer on our North Brown Community Foundation board. And he told her about the foundation, and she decided to give a gift of $100,000. We were, quite frankly, really excited about that, because not only was that a substantial donation in itself, but it gave us what we needed to be able to start a challenge with the South Dakota Community Foundation. So we could then try to raise $150,000 and receive a $37,500 challenge grant from the South Dakota Community Foundation. So we started that challenge period in 2018. And along with that, we also started our Founding Families campaign. Our Founding Families campaign was intended to allow people who wanted to recognize contributions of their families to the Frederick, Barnard, Westport, or Elm Lake communities with donations of $1,000 or more. And we have been recognizing those people so far just by publishing their names once each year in our end of year report. There are other thoughts we have at some point that we might do something that is like visible in the community, but we have not yet done anything like that. Partly because I think it was when we were discussing that, COVID put a hold on it, and then, things moved on from there. But we still might go back to that, figuring out some sort of wall or plaque or something like that. We've had 17 Family Foundations donations as of 2024. And then also before the end of the challenge period, the 3-year challenge period, Bertha Turnquist decided to donate an additional $50,000. So frankly, really by herself, she helped us meet that challenge. But, we also were able to get all of these other Founding Families donations and just in general really increase the name recognition of the foundation in the community. Since then, we haven't had any significant big gifts like that, but we have had a steady stream of regular memorial donations when a prominent person, or even not so prominent person in the community passes away. People give donations to the foundation in their name. I should have mentioned on that last slide the amount we currently have in our fund, which I just looked is an impressive $278,000. That's the magic of compound interest and setting up a fund and getting community members to know about it and donate to it to support their community. Yeah, it's a great thing. So I wanted to let you know a little bit about what we've been doing as far as promotion goes. The first thing we did was set up a brochure. This is something that, is easily just printable on, my regular computer printer here at home. It's quite simple. On the one side, has the cover, and the back panel has been updating people on what we have done in the community so they know a little bit about the impact. And then we've included this quote about it's like planting trees. The best time to do it is yesterday. The true benefits will come when it's fully grown. Start out small with whatever you have, even if it's just an idea or dream, and keep working at it. Remember that every dollar or donated asset is a gift to your community forever. And that is from Tom Labrie, a board member of the Clark Area Community Foundation. On the inside of the brochure is a description of how it works, an explanation of how much is given back to the community, and then also, very important, a form that people can clip and then use that to send in a donation. These brochures are available. We board members all have them, and then they're also displayed in the bank. All of the information from the brochure is also available on the community website, fredericksd.com. And in addition to that, this is where people can find the form for applying for grants. And we update that once every year when the grant period is active. We accept grants for the month of January every year. One advantage that the North Brown Community Foundation has is a tight connection to Frederick Area FYI, which is the community newsletter. It's a partnership between the school, Frederick Forward, the Community Development Group, and the city. They all put in some funds to help get word out in the community about things that are going on. And I edit that, so I have easy access to be able to put things in there to help promote and inform people about our foundation. So we publish something in there twice a year. At the end of the year, we give an update. This is where all of the donors' names are listed, and it also includes the grant application. If people want to just clip that out of there and write on it to apply for a grant, they certainly can. Then in the spring, after we have given our grants, we publish in FYI again. This includes the photos of the check presentations. And then this year we started something new. We really emphasized to our grantees that they send us a little bit of a report and some photos about what they had been able to accomplish with the grant funds. And we put that into a little photo display that was published in Frederick Area FYI as well. We are also using these memorial cards to encourage people to donate in memory of a loved one or just someone else that they knew and respected in the community. This is an idea that we borrowed from the Langford Community Foundation. We know we had examples from them that they had been doing this for a while, and so we decided to put these together. Once again, this is something that we've just been able to print from here, so very little printing cost. People can pick up these memorial cards in the community store and at the bank. We just did this year, and we haven't had, as far as I know, anybody pick them up yet. But hopefully this at least just plants the seed for people when they see the display that this is an option available to them. This is a fun promotion opportunity that we haven't done exactly every year because homecoming tends to be early, kind of creeps up on us sometimes, and sometimes we have to scramble and we're not quite ready to have a float in the parade, but this year we were. And so we'd like to have a presence in the parade. It's one of the events in the community when just a whole lot of people turn out. Main Street is full. The theme this year was holidays, and so we picked Arbor Day. We figured nobody else was likely to pick Arbor Day, and so we had two messages, one on each side. One was related to our mission, which was plant a seed today for a better tomorrow. And then on the other side, we had our, rah rah for football message, which was throw some shade on the Braves. And then the sign on the back telling people what holiday it was, because we weren't sure if people would otherwise quite figure out about what we were doing with the tree in the back of the truck. Isn't that a great truck? That is belongs to one of our board members, Melissa Elwine. And now a little bit about the reason we are doing all this, the grants we're able to give, and the impact we're able to have on the community. We've been able to give $40,500 in grants since 2020, when we had enough. That's when we got to the point where we had enough in funds to be able to give back. Projects include asphalt project for the approach of the new fire hall. That was a multi-year fundraising effort for our volunteer firefighting department. Improvements at the Frederick Area Museum, baseball field improvements, support of FYI, the community newsletter, banners of historic mascots for the Frederick Area Gym, support of the Frederick Area Snow Queen contest, and new planters for Frederick's Main Street. That is a project that Alpha Circle, which is a community group that's been in Frederick since the 1800s, pretty much as long as the town has been around, that they may do that project, and we helped them purchase new planters this year. I mentioned before that we asked our grantees to send in photos and a little description of what they'd done with their grant funds this year. This is great. I think that this will definitely help us both with our fundraising efforts to show that we're actually using the funds that people are donating, that we have that are in our care, and then also for the grantees to know what kind of things they can submit grant applications for. So we had this information published in Frederick FYI, which goes out to all of the households in our community through EDDM, so everyone gets to see this. And we also put up some posters in the community, so this is one of the posters that we put up. So this is all that I had for you all. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions or thoughts, you can certainly reach out. Pat has my contact information. So enjoy. Have a great day.